We are doing anything but buffing green androids, huh? So we're already talking about black reveals for the new set 10. The leader that we're getting for the black color, and the final color we'll be talking about before we get into the actual set. Larva Cell that transforms into Super Perfect Cell. Now, why this leader goes from his larva form to the Super Perfect form immediately, I don't think I'll understand. I mean, if it was from larva to imperfect, yes. If it was from larva to semi-perfect, sure, because we don't have a semi-perfect cell. Larva to perfect cell would still be weird, and larva to super perfect, what are we doing? I mean, you might say, oh, we don't have a super perfect cell, and it's like, no, we do. The set 2 cell is perfect in his unflipped side, and then super perfect on his other side, right? So we already have a super perfect cell. It's just that now we have another one that just starts off from larva. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyways, now to actually talk about this leader. Standard 15k. When attacking, draw one card, and he shares Blue Gogeta's Awakening condition. 5 or less, flip this. I guess technically it was Goku Jr.'s first, but when your life is 5 or less, flip this card over, no draw. Now, in this deck specifically, that is not the Awakening condition that it would like. It would like to get the draw, even if he has to awaken at less life. Number one, because it's going to be playing a lot of 1-drops, that, especially in black, that has an SR 1-drop self-awakener. So in black, you're not really going to struggle to self-awaken, even if it's just a 4 or less. And second of all, the line that this cell wants to take also includes him playing self-awakeners, believe it or not. So we'll see as we go along that he's going to be playing a lot of 1-drops. And some of those 1-drops are self-awakeners that are going to make him not struggle at all in terms of self-awakening. That's not going to be a problem. He's just going to lose on this draw, and he's going to get hurt from it a lot because he needs that extra card in order to combo out to activate his abilities, right? Anyways, he transforms to Super Perfect. He's a 20k leader. When attacking, he draws a card, and then he becomes a 5k for the battle. And then he can active main, and then for 1 energy, he can play 2 Android-only battle cards, combined cost of 2 or less from your hand. Now, this condition, remember that it says play up to 2, so you can either pick to play a 2 cost for 1 energy, or 2 1-drops, and get it basically 2 for 1 deal. You only pay for 1 and you get the next one free. So that's a very interesting condition. It's very good and universal. It's going to give you a lot of value going down the line. Looking at it like this, you might want to go for more of a stall game to get as many of these uses as possible. Because while it just plays a 2 cost for 1 less energy, which isn't like, whoa, it's not groundbreaking, very similar to Bardock's leader ability, it still gives you a lot of value over time. So, like, you know, Bardock's leader ability, all he does is just give you an extra card of combo. But that extra card of combo, he gives every single subsequent turn. So, stacking this up over time is going to help you swarm, especially to cards that lack AoE removal, particularly blue. Additionally, since this leader awakens at a higher life than normal, despite him not getting the draw, which is still worse, but at the very least, he can start spamming this ability a lot faster. And since it's earlier on in the game, being able to play extra energy turns, like that's going to really impact the game. So it's a very strong ability in it by itself. And it's supposed to be synergized with the cards you're going to see previously with evolution lines. Now we also got this Dr. Giro with the cell in his parallel art. Now, there's a clear winner. Let's just also, yeah. There's a clear winner here in terms of who is better. I don't think I need to explain much here. Let's just move on. Do like that the alt arts are actually looking better than they do before. Very nice. Anyways, you got also Super Saiyan Namek Goku support in terms of black. I don't know why they're buffing that leader, but they are, so that's cool. Anyways, if your leader is Planet Namek and his special traits, choose 1 battle card, cost 1 or less, and KO it. And then when attacking, your leader gets 1 key. Now this condition is not great. Not only is this just a worse version of the 2 cost SR Krillin because he costs 1 extra energy and doesn't get the key twice because he doesn't have a 1 attacking and then when KO'd, he also has a very bad on-play condition. Cost 1 or less, I mean this can help Namek Goku because Namek Goku doesn't really have much 1-drop removal. Sure, but this is when? Turn 3? Like, when has that ever mattered? If your opponent is spamming 1-drops on the board, by the time you get to turn 4, you can start playing Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which removes 1-drops very conveniently. So, like, what's the point in playing this? to remove one drop a turn earlier. I mean, to say it can help is like, sure, but what are we talking about, man? Anyways, if this card was when attacking, you choose one card, cost 1 or less, and KO it. And then on play, your leader gets 2 key. Maybe then we're talking. But as it stands now, this ability is just way too underpowered for you to play in Namecoco, especially with he already plays. Like, are you kidding me? There's no way we're being for real. Alright, we also got Richest Bigwig in Ginger Town. Standard Earthling cantrip. Now, this cantrip does quite literally nothing in this game. I mean, aside from being a really funny Richest Bigwig in Ginger Town, pretty funny name. Because you already have a King Furry in the game. He's already an Earthling. What is the reason to play this over that one? None. What's the reason in playing the King over this one? None. Why? Because it's the same exact traits. We did not need this cantrip coming up in the game. We do need Earthling cantrips for the deck, yes, but we already had an Earthling cantrip, and this just, I mean, like, what are we doing? Anyways, you got this Android 17. Shoot up to 1 battle card, cost 1 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. This is going to be a Giru, which is important because remember, this ability only plays Android-only cards. So if you're planning to play Giru, which does the exact same thing, Giru is an Android, but he also has Machine Mutant in his special trait. So you couldn't play a Giru using that. So that would have been unfortunate for you to think of. But now we have that Giru in a 17 format. And it helps out a lot because it can help in terms of search conditions with a different name. Despite the fact that both Androids, and it kind of overlaps, at least being a 17 card can help you search it, right? So it's a good alternative for other decks. Anyways, we got this Android 17. If your leader is an Android only card, look at 4 cards in the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Android only card and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your owner's deck in a random order. Okay, so this just finds other 17, 18, and only Android cards, which is borderline every card in the set, right? Because that's just what you're going to be finding. Overall, not a great condition. Do remember that you can find super combos, so I don't remember what the super combo for the set was, like for black. But if it's an Android super combo, you can find it using this condition. And I also don't know if you've gotten a super combo for Androids previously. I don't think so. For black, not really. It's just a standard cantrip. Like, it's a standard searcher more specifically, but doesn't do much of anything. Now I got this card. I actually don't like the design of this card because it could have been designed better, but you'll see what I mean. Permanent. Leader is an Android-only card. This card in your battle area can be used in a combo even while in rest mode. And then auto your turn. When this card is used in a combo from the battle area, draw 1 card, then choose it to 1 cell with a cost of 1 from the battle area and add 3 to its cost for the turn. Now, of course, this is an instant run 4 of 4 cell. Not only can you play this for 1 energy using this ability, it also swings and replaces itself by drawing a card, so it's always going to give you value, and it keeps your cells nice, healthy, and husky by giving them more cost. Well, I guess no, that doesn't really work because it's just for the turn. It's not until the end of your opponent's next turn. This can help you activate the Cells Kamehameha, which we'll see later down the line. But aside from that, like, that's the only thing you can really use it for, Cells Kamehameha. The cells are already high in cost, and like the extra 3 costs won't do much of anything to it, though it does increase the cost of something like a 1-drop cell, which can help you in the early game. But it does, like, just the ability to replace itself in this swing is great. Now, what I don't like about this card specifically, leader is Android only. Do you know how cool it would have been if it could, I mean, leader lock it, sure. But if you make it Android, you can run this on Baby. Which, you might say, why are we buffing Baby? Isn't he, like, a good deck? I mean, yeah, if we're talking a year ago, he was a great deck. But, you know, now in these days, like, he's been long and forgotten. And he's easily one of the worst black decks. I would even, well, I guess I wouldn't go as far as to say worse than King Piccolo. But King Piccolo reached up to him in terms of power because of the manga support that he got a couple of sets ago. Baby was good, yes, but he's gotten borderline nothing. At least if you would have given him this card, there would have been a point to run him in the meta today. Which would have been nice, because, you know, you get, like, this ability that lets you replace the card and then also play it with other cards in the set. You could have played this using, like, I don't know, 4 cost grade A Baby, and then swing with this and then draw the card and then, you know, combo it out just to get like a couple of more extra, you know, the whole baby combo. And since it's not a machine mutant, which, you know, like the thing that baby combos off rested is machine mutant and brainwashed as traits, like this condition wouldn't have been met with that baby, but now it can. We could have had that, but you know, now that they made it Android only, like that sucks. So what I'm trying to say is that they should have also made this for baby, but since they didn't, it's a little bit lame. Whatever. I mean, it will also be, this is a really cool alt art, by the way. Oh, by the way, remember that this is 17/18. You know what that means? Meets both names in all areas. So it can help with search conditions you're trying to find an 18 or a 17 specifically. Right, there's a 7, this is what I mean. There's a 17 in your battle area, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card from your hand. The card that we were talking about previously, this one, counts. Because it also counts as 17 in all areas. So you could play this with that. This is just a standard draw 1, scry 1, which can help in the combo, especially when the combo is going to be to have to combo from drop. It can help you search your deck and also set up your drop. But for the most part, it's just a whatever card. Like, who really cares? If it drew 2, maybe then we're talking. If it drew 2, maybe now we're getting somewhere. Auto your turn. I mean, if it drew 2, if it 2 broken, let me be more specific. But, you know, would have been cool. Anyways, auto. Leader is Cell. When discarding choosing a combo from the battle area, reduce the cost of your next evolve skill you activate this turn for a Cell. Cost of 6 in your hand. Buy 2. Cost of 6. I thought that you could evolve it from much better, but it seems you're going to have to pay at least 1 energy. It would have been great if they didn't have this cost of 6 just specified, but I know why it is. It's because the evolution line is supposed to go from imperfect Cell to semi-perfect and then perfect, and the perfect line is the cost of 6 Cell. So that's going to be the secret rare and the SR that we're going to talk about later. But there's a run for of, obviously, because it helps you cheat on the energy by just playing it out. And so you can cheat this card, so you can double cheat. You can cheat the energy and cheat this card by playing it for cheaper later down the line using, you know, Cell's whole gimmick. You can lower the energy cost while also not actually having to invest the energy into playing this. So you can get a very powerful turn just straight up. And this is a very good parallel art. Like, this is crazy good. They cooked with this one. We got a Spy Robot, a little bit lame. On play, look at the top card of your deck and place it at the top or bottom of the owner's deck. It would have been much cooler if this was active main. Since it's just on play, and it's just your deck, like, what does this do? This searches for 1 card, and then you can either draw it or bottom it. Like, what are we talking about? If it drew the card that you topped or bottomed, like in that turn, and then when KO'd, draw 1 card, sure. Or I guess not even when KO'd. If it just drew the card straight up, sure. But like, what are we talking about, dude? If it was active main, search your deck, and then when KO you draw a card, that would have been an interesting gimmick card, because then you could have kept it on board to keep searching your deck, and then if your opponent addresses it, you get a card draw, right? So that could have been cool. But this card is just straight up bad. Every single Spy Robot that they tried to add to a game is pretty horrendous. I'd say so. Yeah, that's pretty true. So he's got the 0 cost Cell. Once I revert to an egg, I must bury myself underground for 3 years. There my form matures. On play, switch this card to rest mode. Active main. Place 1 earthly only battle card with cost 1 or more, and this card from a battle area into the owner's drop. If your leader is Cell, play up to 1 Cell with a cost of 1 from your hand. Now this is going to be the next Cell we're going to be talking about. It's going to be an SR. So of course it just like absorbs an Earthling, and then if you absorb an Earthling, you can turn into like a 1-drop Cell, which is, you know, just how it is. It can be this Cell. Obviously, this is just not a good Cell overall. It's just a draw 2 and then discard 2. Not much of a point in this. Anyways, we also got this SR Cell, and this is the 1-drop Self-Awakener I was talking about. It's a 0 combo, unfortunately, but you don't really need the combo, because it self-awakens when you play it, and then when attacking, you place 1 Earthling only battle card, cost 2 or less, or 1 Android only battle card with cost 2 or less, other than Cell, from your battle area in your combo area. Switch this card to active mode, then this card can attack for the turn. So you're supposed to be evolving this card, right? You might be asking why switch to active mode and then it can't attack. What the hell's the point in that? That's to get a swing with this Cell while also being able to evolve it later down the line, because as we'll see, you'll be able to transform imperfect Cell to semi-perfect and then perfect as well. So, you know, by absorbing an Earthling, or I guess putting it in your combo area to make your swing better, which, by the way, can also be this as well, by the way. In order to make your evolution lines less expensive, you can then evolve this, right? And set up your turns more effectively. Anyways, we have this Parallel Art. This is going to be a very essential card for the deck. This is obviously a run 4 up. The only reason why you wouldn't run a run 4, say it with me, chat, it's an SR, so it's rare. But this is a really good Parallel Art. I am a really big fan, dude. These Parallel Arts are actually looking really good. I'm liking it. Anyways, you got this Cell with an original cost of 1 in order to evolve. On play, if you use a card from your battle area in your combo during this turn, add up the 1 Android-only battle card with a cost of 3 or less from your drop in your hand. So this obviously replaces a card that's already been comboed off. Very good when you synergize it with this Android 18, because whatever card you discard with this, you can then pick up with this Cell. So you then evolve that with the other Cell, and then you just get another card back. So this replaces itself no matter what. So you can keep this on board just outright. Of course, it's a really good standard card. We got another one that instead of looking at it from it's the same one, but instead of going into drop, it searches top 5 and reveals an Android only card and then adds to your hand, which again can be a super combo if it's an Android super combo. And you can again keep this on board or evolve it into Perfect Cell, which is, you know, whole point of the strategy. So you can evolve this with a cost of 4 Cell, which can be this, or alternatively, you can use this Android 17 and 18 to power up this Cell and then give it extra energy, and then you can evolve it to this. So basically you're giving them the double combo, the double whammy, and then, you know, like evolving it into this. So that's going to help you cheat out on some more energy, for lack of a better word, and then evolve straight up from this instead of going to this line, which you're not going to be losing out on much to do anyway, because again, this line already replaces itself. So just evolving into semi-perfect and then perfect again is not that big a deal, because all these cards draw. Then when this card gets played, you draw 2 cards, and this card can't be KO'd until you end your opponent's next turn. Now, what the point is in just being a KO is beyond me. Why is it a KO? It would have been much better if it was can't be removed from the battle area, because that just makes it a victim to different matchups rather than just being good overall. Like, it's gonna be really good against red or yellow. Well, I guess, well, yellow, sure. Yellow can lock it, but yellow, green, and black itself is gonna be really good against. But against other decks like blue, it's just gonna bottom it and not care. It's going to be the same situation as 4-cost Jiren, where it borderline broke the game, except for blue, which was a basically unwinnable matchup against blue. So it just gets really lame when just one specific color in the game can counter this. It's really, they should have just made it that no color can counter it. I would much prefer that, because at least then everyone's in the same playing ground, right? Anyways, you got the Cell alt art. I mean, it's not bad, but I do like this one. There's not a disparaging difference aside from these. Like, I can look at this and say, yep, if I had all copies of this and all copies of this, I'm running these 100%. But with this, I don't know. I mean, I guess this one just looks better. I don't know. This is Buff Cell that the form that Cell took to mock Future Trunks when he went Grade 3. Active main, if your leader is Cell and you use the card in your battle area in a combo during this turn, switch this card in a battle area to active mode. So this swings twice for 30. And it happens basically every single turn, which is a very powerful card. A 6 cost that swings twice is crazy, dude. Like, this is great. Especially if it lives. Like, this condition is met very easily. Like, all you literally have to do is just play like a 1-drop cantrip and then combo it out just for funsies. And then this swings twice again. Double 30? Like, you've seen Super Saiyan 3 Goku and how ridiculous that is, and it KOs itself. Imagine a Super Saiyan Goku where it doesn't KO itself. Yeah, it's this. It's this thing right here. It's just so good, man. It's pretty ridiculous. Now we got this alt art. Of course, this one looks amazing, and that's the reference I was talking about. Yeah, I'm a LARPer. Yeah, what of it? So it's an Android super combo. Okay, so remember this search condition and this search condition will be able to find a super, because that super they want to be running is going to be this Cell right here. And I just cheated and look at the alt art and like, whoa. Like, this looks great. This looks absolutely amazing. 5 for 5 for all super combos, looking amazing. I mean, I guess the only Gohan from red just looked average. Like, it didn't look great, but this looks amazing. I'm a really big fan of this. Super perfect Cell. We got the Cell Junior. When attacking, you have a Cell with 6 or more in your battle area. Add up the 1 card from your light to your hand. Then use it to 1 Android-only battle card from your drop in a combo. So, you can recur this ability and use it, like, basically swing for 25 consistently, because you can use Android cards in your drop to use in combos just for free. And then Self-Awaken as well, always when attacking. So you can be at 6 life and still do your Evolution combo and Awaken in the same turn, right? Now this won't apply for the Awakening condition, but do remember that that you can play this for 1 energy by using Cell's leader ability, as well as just get the swing overall. Though I guess if you're playing this for 1 energy, like using your leader ability, you would much rather just play this. Like, this is just better. Especially since it sets up your Cell to be able to awaken better. But it's still a good card. Still a good card. Player leader gets a key, and then you place this card in a battle area to the owner's drop. If your leader is with the player Namek and his special traits has 3 or more key, choose a 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, and it can attack during your opponent's next turn. This is a very important card for Namek Goku. Now it was able to address cards that are 6 or more, or 6 or less, by just straight up KOing them with 1 energy. And that is better. But number 1, the extra was just an extra, it was not a body. Number 2, the extra didn't swing. And number 3, the extra didn't give you key. So if you didn't have the key, if you don't have a lot of key, which can happen a lot in matchups, because you're using key to keep yourself defended and stuff, like, this card can do things that the other one can't. Especially when you consider it doesn't have a cost restriction. So if your opponent plays something that's above the cost that you can KO the cards from, you can then use this alternatively. That situation is not common, because a lot of the important cards in the game are 6 costs or lower, but you can also use this to, be more aggressive in KO cards. This is a very important card. This is a very good card for the deck. It's not like the other card that just sucked. Vanilla Piccolo. We got Cell Games. It works as a Cell version of the Flying Nimbus extra that we got for the starter deck of Daima Goku. Leader is Cell, draw 1 card, choose 1 battle card in your battle area, and it gets 10k power. Now, there aren't many cards that don't swing into the body. Well, I guess you could play this, but then you can't swing with it because it's not... You have to use it from a combo in your battle area, so you can't swing with it. Well, that would be a good example. No, because all of these are good bodies. All of these are great bodies. Like, they all swing pretty good. Yeah, I thought there was like a 10k or a 15 that you would want to buff up with that in order to make it swing into it, but... Well, I guess what you can do with it is play it with this, and since it's for the turn, it becomes a 40k swing twice. That could be nice. That could be interesting. What do you guys think? 40k swing twice? You think people are defending that? Yeah, I don't think so. Use his Seeking Suspicion. And we just got this Cell Kamehameha. The leader is selling, you use the card from your battle area in a combo during this turn, reduce the cost in your hand by 2. And then choose the 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area that costs less than or equal to the combined cost of the Cell in your battle area and KO it. So it's combined cost of Cell. So any Cell that you have on your field will automatically count towards that condition. Once you play the 6 costs, not much of a point is going to be into increasing its power. Once you get a 6 cost Cell, that's basically every card in the game. So this already meets that condition. It works very similarly to the Super Saiyan Namek Goku Extra that removes 6 costs as well, because it just removes the 6 costs for 1 energy. But you can also, if you're really struggling to remove the card, you can just use this and then increase one of the cells in your area by 3. That turns the 6 cost into a 9 cost, and that's literally every card in the game. Because the highest cost we have as of now is a 9 cost. Anyway, Cell Solar Flare. If your leader is Cell, you draw a card, and use 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, and it can't attack. So this is going to be your alternative condition to Cell's Kamehameha. If the card that you're attacking can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills, or just ignores KOs altogether, you can use this alternatively. Or if you're not confident you can get cells like enough to power up to get to, play Cell's Kamehameha, you could also raw dog it and just shoot out a Cell Solar Flare. It's a very good get out of jail free card when you don't really have much of else to play, and it's a good counter against cards that can't be removed from the battle area by opponent's skills. These two together are a deadly combo. Because what this can address, and then what this can address, this is just better to play. So yeah, it's just a very deadly cool combo. Anyways, you got this Cell Zeg. Look at the 10 cards at the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 cell, cost of 0, and add it to your hand. Now, this isn't a particularly good extra. I mean, it does find this cell, which is nice for it to find, right? But the problem with this cell is that, I mean, would have to have another Earthling card on the field in order to take advantage of it. So you would play an Earthling for 1, then play this for 0, and then KO it to play this. And then you can do your combo, which is like, when is that going to happen? Like, why are we looking for the cell in the Cell Egg? It's not, like, I don't see much situations where you want to play this or situations where this would pop up. Like, I just don't see it. I don't know why I pressed the X key. I thought I'd press next. Alright, so we got our third and final secret rare for this set. This is a cell cost 4 or more. Remember that you can also evolve this, again, using First Form Cell and this Android 17 and 18 if you were to like to do so. It's a double strike. It does swing for 40 as well. And then if this card is in a battle, for each card in your combo area, you use a 1 battle card from your drop in a combo. So it's a very good card for just going for the final hit in a game. This is a very good universal card, as a matter of fact. You can play this on basically a lot of other decks, because this is going to be one of the highest swinging double strikes, not only in black, but in the game. It's going to be competing with the 5-cost Goku Childhood from Kid Goku. The one that can swing for like 85 if you give it the 2-cost extra. Like, it can get really high, because with just one card comboed, you get like 60k if you have a 10k in your drop and you combo a 10k. Like, that's just a super right there with just one card comboed. It can get really, really high. Especially if you know how to set it up properly, it can get really deadly. Now, I don't know if this is going to have much of a use other than being a double strike swing that just kind of kills your opponent at 2 life. But I mean, it does have its uses. Like, it's a good standard card. And what do you guys think? You guys like this art better? Or you like this art better? What do you think? What do you think? Rare demonstration of the devs putting the actual 2-star art is better than the 1-star art. This is how you do it, chat. This is how you do it. Cell killing Trunks, that is what you want to see. I mean, that's what you want to see when you're Trunks, but, you know, it's pretty cool. Anyways, that is it for the cards in this set. As it seems that this Cell is going to be a very powerful leader. His entire game strategy is going to be to play these cells and evolve them using, or absorbing, quote-unquote, 17 and 18s in order to get his evolution lines and to become perfect, and then keep a really strong body on board that just sticks the opponent. And if the opponent addresses it, then you just play it again. If he doesn't, then you have other cards that use that cell in the field to power it up even more. Though again, you can't just play this combo an infinite amount of times. Like, there's not really anything stopping you. The real perfect line, the best thing about this card that I want to mention before I finish off the video, the best part about this card is that you can play it for such a low amount of energy. You can play this for 2, by the way. Let's just say, okay, you start your turn, your board is completely empty. Completely empty board. Play a cantrip, Richest Bigwig in Ginger Town. Then you play this. Then displace this cell. Though I guess you can just skip all that and just play the cell Lokenny only. I don't think that's a problem. Actually, you can just use leader ability straight up. Leader ability is just better. Yeah, leader ability is just better. You play that cell with this 18. Or I guess you can play it with this one. But then you won't be able to get the combo? It's a tough call. Well, no, because then if you played... Okay, just hold on. You play this cell... You play this 18 with that leader ability. Then you swing with this, the 18 gets combo, becomes a 25. Then you can evolve into this cell for another energy. This gives you a card back, and then this evolution is free. So then you can evolve into this, and then for literally 2 energy, and with cards that already replace themselves, you have played a 6 cost. Because remember, this doesn't draw, this doesn't draw. This draws, and then this draws twice. So you played 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and drew 3. So you're going negative. It's literally just playing this. Like, it just gives you this. And of course you can play something like this cell or this cell. but it won't give you as much draw value. It's much better to play this. Well, I guess it's much better to play this early game, and then save this for a later game where you're trying to get draw value. It's just not bad. It's just not bad no matter how you slice it. Like being able to play this for 2 energy. You tell me, 6 cost for 2 energy. You tell me if that's good. Anyways, if I had to get this deck a rating, I don't know. This is tough. I don't know if this deck is gonna be particularly good. I don't think it's bad. Well, it's definitely not bad. Like, being able to play a 6 cost for 2 energy, like, that's not a problem, chat. We can deal with that. I'll take the burden. I'll take it. I'll take being able to play a 6 cost for 2 energy. You guys think that's good? But in this environment, like, there are so many decks that can just address that, as crazy as it sounds. A 6 cost for 2 energy is just the game now. Like, that's just what decks do. And just doing that is not exactly a strategy, for lack of a better word. Like, it doesn't mean much, if you know what I mean. So this strategy is powerful, but ultimately it's like, eh. Like, I don't know how to describe. I wouldn't even say that. Like, the strategy is good, but it's not like, dude, this is gonna be the next thing that breaks the game. We got to nerf this now. It's not a Black Gogeta, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a Black Gogeta. It's a deck for sure. If I had to give it a rating, let's give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Let's do that. I think 7 out of 8 is optimal. Now, out of all this set, I think this is going to be one of the more free-to-play sets, which is really good. Remember that this cell you can just play. You can just skip out on the Secret Rare entirely. The Secret Rare is great, but ultimately it's just a double strike swing. You can get the same value with this and this, which aren't even SRs. Like, you remember, you can evolve this cell, sure, but end of the day, push comes to shove, you can just play this and keep it semi-perfect. Like, there's no shame in that. There's no problem with that. Keeping it semi-perfect is not a problem at all. Because the semi-perfect replaces itself, and if the opponent addresses that, then guess what? Another cell's coming up next turn, and it can even be perfect. So, like, who cares at that point? Like, being a body that replaces itself at 25k is nothing to sneeze at, for sure. Anyways, I still think 7 out of 8 is appropriate. Like, this deck can get things done. It's not a bad deck. I can tell you that much. It's not a bad deck. But anyways, that is it for all the new cards that are to be revealed this set. Now, we are missing the promos. I will have to make a video on the promos. Problem with the promos is that I checked like 5 times in the actual client in order to see when they would release the promos, if they release it with the reveals, and they didn't. But now they did, because they put them late. I don't know why they put the promos at a different time, but they did. So we'll have to do a promos in a different video, but don't worry, it's only like 5. So we'll get it done quick. Anyways, that is it for the reveals for Black, and I'm very excited to revert to an egg and then bury myself in the ground for 3 years and mature my form.